we're going to call this meeting to order at 7:05 p.m. And I'm going to switch screens real quick just so we can get a roll call here. Okay. So present we have Ryan, Jake, Rachel, RJ, and Veronica. And excused, we have Josh, Lance, and Elizabeth. And unexcused, we have Donnie and CJ didn't mark himself not coming, so. Okay, we go back to these meeting minutes. Okay, does anyone want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion.
Okay,
A second.
okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. All opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. All right, committee reports, marketing and social media. Veronica, do you want to give it or do you want me to give a report?
I think you can go ahead. I think I can do it in the future if we have that committee or a
Yeah.
little before this meeting so that there's more time to just kind of recap everything.
Right. Yeah, we can
But feel
plan
free.
to reschedule. Okay. Yeah, so basically we did the website relaunch, which looks fantastic. So that was the big thing that we've done, and we're kind of we're talking about, we're mulling over social media again. We've talked about, instead of a calendar, putting out guidelines and having one or two people responsible for creating regular content, and then having guidelines so people can go in and make posts on their own when they feel inspired to do so. So that way everybody has the option for us to get more content out, but we do have somebody who's tasked with making sure it gets out. So that way we don't run into a situation where nobody does it. So we talked about that. We talked about just trying to share other people's posts on TikTok, so that way we have some action going on there. And we just kind of, let me see here. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Was just trying to, like, we talked about getting focused on social media, and just celebrated the website relaunch. So all right. No report for strategic planning. Sponsorship and sponsor engagement. We have not met yet. We didn't get a meeting last month, I don't think. So there's no report, but I will say that Jake has put together a few grants. Now that the relaunch has happened, I'll be able to try to track down those websites and send that on to Elizabeth. And we're in the process of working on getting grants together. And then we also are wanting to, we've been talking about putting together a retold sponsorship guideline where we have our pricing and everything else. So those are a couple things that we're working on. For community outreach and event planning, we're still looking for a chair. So if anyone knows someone who wants to plan events, let them know about it. That is it. Does anyone want to make a motion to accept the committee reports?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, hearing none, the motion carries. New business. In between meetings, Veronica told me that nonprofits can get the Google Suite for free. So I applied, and Google said, no free Google for you. But I fought the system, and we finally won. So we are getting free Google
Yay.
now. Yeah, I have to reapply for them to approve it, but apparently now
Yay.
I'm in some
Good
sort
job,
of
did it.
Ryan.
fast track. Yeah. So so we're on our way.
Why did
Um,
they deny or change
Yeah.
the?
I think the rebrand threw things off, but then they were like saying things that didn't really make any sense. They were like, your domain has to match the website. I'm like, it does. And they're like, well, you have to, they're like, well, we have to make sure that you're legit. I'm like, my name's on the website. My name's on all the paperwork that I already sent you. So I resent them the paperwork with my name on it. And then they verified that Brian Crawford is actually Brian Crawford,
Nice.
the same paperwork I'd been sending. So, yeah, so it was just a bunch of, they were like saying you have to go to a notary or send in the, your article, your something from the state. And I'm like, I don't know what else you want me to send you. I have everything. The last step was to go to the notary, but I got it through. So, so we're good. We're gonna be getting it. I have to apply again today because they said wait 24 hours. So, but this has been going on for like over a week, just this back and forth emails. The only other thing is that we had from as far as old business is, oh, wait, no, we're still in new business. Election of officers. So we have to re-elect our officers. We had mentioned last month we're behind on that. So we had in the past, I'm going to put it on the screen here just so you could see these are the past officers. No, wait, no. Okay, so those are the past officers. Does anybody want to nominate any of these officers, or we have open nominations?
I'm good with who's in place right now.
Do you want to make a motion to leave those people in place through November?
Yes.
I guess we kind of got to be okay with this guy who's president, huh? Yeah, we'll
I
worry about that
guess.
later.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
worry about that later. I'm good with it.
Any discussion? Okay, so do we have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, hearing none, the motion carries. All right. So congratulations to the officers. Website rebrand for old business. The website has launched. The rebrand is launched. Has anyone not had a chance to check it out? I can kind of show you some of the changes that were made. Here, I'll show it just for the video here. Okay, so this is the new website, the new and improved website. Looks incredible. Veronica did all of the work for this. This will take you to the About section. Now, if you have this, whoop, like she found this old banking photo
Great,
in Pittsburgh.
great job. It looks amazing.
Yeah,
I
it's
like it.
great.
Very, very clean.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This has just some general information about the Pittsburgh Exposition before we existed. This is the same, but she grayed out all of the images so that way they're all a little more consistent. And then this affiliations page is the same. The news, one thing I really like is you can search by category now as well. So that's really helpful. There's a search bar up here, featured content at the top, and then it just goes down with the different blog posts. These have been retooled as well. We have new embedded players, which don't stretch over and either cover the text or run off the screen. So these images I'd like to change out for the art talk, but they're there for now. Another change is the individual episodes, we use the Apple Play as well. This does work on websites that are, this does work on browsers like Chrome and Firefox, so you don't have to have Apple or the Apple Podcast app in order to listen on the website with this player. That was one of my concerns with Apple, but that concern was alleviated when I tried it out. Media, this is just like our video stuff. So all of our video posts. And then this is where it really gets good. I really love the way these are laid out. We have our event calendar, which this is the same, but it's laid out in a better way. And then down below, we have our list, the same list, but you could filter by month if you're looking for a specific month of things to do, or you could filter by category. And I really like this because, if you're an art person or a history person or so on, you can filter the category to match your interests.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. And then the directory, this turned out really great too. You can add your listing here. We still have the map. We changed the color scheme. It's not really what we want, but it's all we can get. Google only gives you like 4 or 5 options, and this was the best that we could get. So, but what I really am happy with is this accordion style. Instead of going to all the individual pages, some of them, the historic sites, I don't have lists, I don't have descriptions on because it says it's a house, or it pretty much says what it is. So I might go back and put the town underneath it just so people know that, but I didn't put in descriptions. However, I did enhance all the listings with descriptions of what it is, an image in a description of what it is, so it's a lot more useful now. And then for the museums, they each have like a little description of what the museum is. And then if you click it, it has, that's a bad example. It has their hours, if we could find them. it has their hours. And then the rest of it's the same, but we have you know, the description and stuff, but the hours are on here. That's pretty much the same, but just for your knowledge. So that's the website. So it's all up and going. I think it looks incredible. And feel, you know, check it out on your phone, all the different platforms. You can see how it looks in all the different ways. So another nice thing about that Apple player is it'll match the type of device you're using. It's intuitive that way. So if you look at the podcast page on your phone, it won't have that giant one with the different multiple episodes you can click. It morphs based on and resizes itself based on the device that you're using. So that's a really great feature. Google Chat, I just every week, every meeting, I'll remind you if you're not on board, get on board. You can message me and I'll make sure that we'll work together to make sure you're in the proper channels and just make sure that you are active on there and check it, you know, at least a couple times a week. And then we've talked about the monthly co-working events. We haven't done that yet, but I think what we'll just have to do is maybe Jake and I will text back and forth and try to see if we can come up with a date. Maybe we'll put out a vote and see what people are interested in. It's not a mandatory thing. It's just if you want to work on PGH Museum stuff in the company of other people, it would be an option.
Sounds good to me, man.
Yeah. So for the good of the order, let's give a round of applause to Veronica.
Good job, Veronica. It's really nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
really
It's
incredible.
Yeah.
it really is
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
amazing.
There's so much information on that website. There's so many resources, and it's you know, before it was kind of confusing because there's just so much, and she did a great job of retaining all that information, making it still very accessible, but also digestible at the same time. So yeah. So, and the other thing I have for good of the order myself is that we're gonna now that we have this rebrand set, we're gonna transition our focus into grants, funding, and we're gonna have to have a focus on content maintenance in terms of constantly getting new content out, making sure the website is current in terms of the event calendar, which is always an opportunity for us. That's our biggest opportunity. Expanding the directory because we're really shallow on historic sites in Pittsburgh, and galleries, and just making sure that our social media presence is solid now that we've relaunched this brand and now that we have a brand that we're selling. Before I kind of laid off the social media on my end because we were retiring that name and it didn't feel like it made sense for me to put a lot of effort into marketing a brand that was going away. So now that is out, those are really our two main focuses right now. If we get an event chair and somebody who's really enthusiastic, fine, but that's kind of way down on the list in terms of priorities. Our big priorities really are two front. It's the grant and it's the content management. Now that we rebranded, we announced we want people to keep coming back, seeing using the website and seeing that event calendar full. And really a big focus is we need to get grant funding. That's going to be our big focus going forward because in order to market this properly, and that's really the big thing is letting people know we're there and a little bit of grant funding, whatever we get, I am hoping to put the majority of it into marketing. So that way we could just get in front of people's faces and get them used to coming to see us and engaging in our product. So those are our big focuses going forward. Does anyone else have anything they want to say for the good of the order? Anything you want to talk about with the new Pittsburgh Exposition and our direction, or anything you're excited about, or things that you're hoping to see for the future? This would be your place to bring that up.
So Veronica, if like say I wanted to help fill out the event calendar, is that something you can show me how to do?
Yeah, definitely. And I think Brian can also, and I think we might have that written up somewhere too, just to reference like after going through it together. And Brian, it might not be a bad idea to do like a screen record or video or something to save
Oh,
for
yeah.
people in the future.
Yeah,
Just so that,
Yeah, that's an awesome idea.
yeah, definitely. I'm looking to show you. Come on. My Finder window was behind the Zoom cameras, and the Zoom camera wouldn't move out of the way. Let's see. We have yeah, so I'll send this to you, Rachel. We have this made up, and you'll see it is a very, very step by step. Tells you exactly what to click.
Okay.
And there are some other notes which I need to revamp this, but I do have some other notes that I'll send with you. So there was somebody who, a friend of mine, had said she wanted to help with the calendar as well, but she hasn't had the chance yet, but that might be another person that might also help out.
Awesome.
But yeah, I will send that to you right after this meeting, and then I'll probably text you back and forth or give you a call later this week to kind of like give you some ideas on how to tackle it. Sometimes I go through the emails, but lately I've been going through just individual websites and copying because a lot of
Yeah.
times with the emails, they send us stuff when it's like the next day. So
Yeah,
by the
it's
time we
last
get to
minute.
it,
Mhm.
yeah, and also by the time we get to it, it's like sometimes it's already passed because we're not
Right.
checking it every day. So
Yeah. Sense.
um yeah, so that's great. Yeah, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Because like I said, that's one of our two big things is just because, now that we have the rebrand, we have people coming back. We don't want them coming back and then seeing an empty event calendar because it is hard to keep up with it all the time, especially with
Yeah,
so many different things moving.
that
So
makes sense.
great. Anyone else have anything for the go to the order? No. Okay. Um, does anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Okay. All opposed? All right. Hearing none, the motion carries. Our next meeting will be May 2nd at 7 p.m.